If you think about it, chasing money is kind of a distraction. You asked me what does success means to me. I think about three things. I think about peace. I think about time, right? And I think about relationships.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, with everything that we do, usually we'll say, I'm doing this for my family.
Yeah.
I think success is to get the freedoms, right? So you're in control of your own life and destiny. Not saying you're not, but you're not beholden to money only. And you can say that when you don't have money because you don't have it, right? And you can't. Some people still have money and still can't say that, right? Because the job or the career or the business runs them. They're an employee in their own business, essentially. They're working for their business all the time.
Some people may have grown up in, circumstances where they didn't have much. So having, enough or more than enough means success to them. And I can't fault them for that. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Grind.
BTG!
Our podcast is for aspiring entrepreneurs, current entrepreneurs, and ambitious employees. If you like our content, please make sure to hit that like, subscribe button, and make sure to share this with all your family and friends. My name is Tosin.
And my name is Kay.
My name is Alan.
Hey, have you guys ever thought about what true success means? Because a lot of times, people equate success to money. People equate success to having that big house, that nice car. I need my rolls. I'm rolling deep, right? But
Isn't that what success is? What else is there?
I mean,
I'm joking.
That's why I'm asking, because
I'm joking.
It doesn't have to be the same. It could be for some people, right? Because some people may have grown up in, circumstances where they didn't have much. So having, enough or more than enough means success to them. And I can't fault them for that. All right. It's what do they call it? Environmental, nurtured, all those different things that people may say. Right. So I can't judge anyone for having their own definition of success, but at least while we're here educating our viewers, I want to know, what does success mean to you? What does it look like?
What if I told you that the pursuit of money is actually keeping most people poor?
Hey.
Because if you think about it, chasing
That's
money,
a snap finger moment.
if you think about it, chasing money is kind of a distraction. You asked me what does success means to me. I think about three things. I think about peace. I think about time, right? And I think about relationships.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, with everything that we do, usually we'll say, I'm doing this for my family.
Yeah.
So the freedoms.
Relationship, right? Usually we'll say, I'm doing it so I can get my time back.
Yeah.
Right? Usually you say, I'm doing this so I can go retire, go relax.
Or retire early.
Or retire early.
Yeah.
But the thing is, depending on how you want to define, success, I think at the end of the day, it's those intangibles that truly, truly makes you wealthy. Because I don't think wealth, it's something tangible. Rich, yes, you have money, right? But true wealth, I think, comes in being able to have peace of mind, being able to maintain, the relationship that truly matters to you, right? And, being able to have your time back.
Alan, what does success mean to you?
He kind of hit all my points, but with a different angle. I think success is to get the freedoms, right? So you're in control of your own life and destiny. Not saying you're not, but you're not beholden to money only. And you can say that when you don't have money because you don't have it, right? And you can't. Some people still have money and still can't say that, right? Because the job or the career or the business runs them. They're an employee in their own business, essentially. They're working for their business all the time. They're like, yeah, I got all this money. I got all these cars. I got all this house, but I can't take a vacation. I can't do this or whatever. So for me, success, it's not a dollar amount for, it can be, but for some people, but it's really what the money gets you, right? But not necessarily just the money, but the ability, when do you get to a point where you have enough money to now go do what you want and control your destiny? Because a lot of people, like I said, have all this money, but their destiny and life controls them. So you got to have the freedoms that you talked about, freedom of time, right? Freedom to pursue relationships. And for me, I was discussing how with a friend of mine, who shall remain unnamed right now, but, we were discussing why we don't have $100 billion. And I realized that sounds bad, but I don't think I can ever have $100 billion.
Hey,
not because no. Hear me out. Not because, or at least for a long period of time, and still pursue money. Not because I don't think I have what it takes to get it, or my fortune might not, be in a way that I'd be able to receive it, but more because I think before I would get to that point, I would do something with the $100 billion, build schools, help other people. Because that's what's in my heart. So success to me is being able to do whatever I want, help others grow, and get to where they need to. That brings me joy. So I say that it would be hard for me to get to $100 billion because if I get to 1 billion, I don't even know if I would keep pursuing for that 2, 3, 4, because if I give away 900 billion in my head to better you achieve your dreams, I still got $100 billion, right? How much? I mean, invested right, it's going to exponentially be good enough. So for me, is the ability to have the freedom to hang out with your family, your friends, really enjoy life, because the real currency while we're alive is really us. Right? Relationships and how much you're enjoying it and are present, and intentional, and I'm successful. I may make 50, 60K a year, but I do whatever I want. And I have everything I need. And you really see that when you go to another country where they have less than you, and you see how happy they are. That's right. You go to the people who barely live, they have not that much, and the people in the Caribbean, right? And they just, some of the people are have way less money, have way less, and they're so happy to do their little job.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because shout out to one of my ex co-founder, Tola Alade. He wrote a piece on LinkedIn, and he talked about, just having the mindset of your why you do what you do, right? And I think sometimes as human beings, we get kind of stuck in trying to determine the difference between survival and obsession.
Right.
We're not saying that making money is a bad thing.
No.
It's a great thing, because it does a lot of great things, for you, right? But what we're saying is, at the end of the day, there's a cost to everything, right?
That's correct.
And I think it's important to really be able to find that balance, for, okay, what is it worth that I'm working 24/7, but my kids don't even know who I am?
That's right.
Or what is it that I'm working 24/7 and my wife
hurts.
doesn't like me, right? What is it I'm working 24/7 that the relationship that I have around me is bankrupt?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And I think that's the main thing, that at least the point that he was trying to make here. And you hit the nail on the head. It's all about relationship at the end of the day. I know you was going to say something.
No, I was going to give my own definition.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. We stole the show.
No.
Tell us, my friend.
You guys have kind of all touched on it. And it's kind of that saying, or, that example that, I don't know, I've heard this a long time ago, is that on your deathbed, what are you going to be?
What are they going to be remember you for?
Not that what
they will be rich.
What would you remember?
No, I'm just kidding.
On my deathbed?
On my deathbed.
I ain't going to remember nothing. I'm dead.
No.
You said if you're
right before you die.
Okay, gotcha.
What are the memories?
What are the memories?
Yeah.
What are the things that you're going to appreciate? What are you going to look back on and say, man, I had a successful life?
Yeah.
What are those things? Is it that you got to drive all those cars?
Gotta eat all the pizza.
Yeah, you know, is it? But you guys mentioned it well. Usually, generally, what they said, it's usually the people around
Yeah.
you. It's going to be the relationships we build.
I think
It's
that
gonna be
becomes
the
apparent
people.
when you get older too.
Yeah.
It's when you're younger and when at the early parts of life, you realize it's the people, your friends, right? You
Yeah.
care about your friends hanging out and playing for the most part. And then when you're older, you're like, I think,
It's me.
well, you go through that grind and you forget about the people. And then as you get older towards the end of your life, you start being like, man, like, I've been working my whole life. I need friends.
Yeah.
So like in the
need
middle
some
part
people.
when you're in the hustle and the grind, we forget the people are the important thing.
That's where I'm going. And that's what really success is for me.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, if we were to look back, and I've been thinking about this topic for a little bit now. And one thing I'm doing this year as I've turned 39.
Ooh.
All right.
Hey, Grandpa.
Getting up there.
Grandpa.
But I remember just talking to my team and like, you know, like I don't want to wait to say, hey, when I'm gonna start, I'm gonna wait till, you know, no, let's start today.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And one of those things was, what does success look like?
Yeah.
And it's all about, you know, hey, what kind of relationships did
Yeah.
you build? What kind of lives, or who are the people that you've touched and impacted?
Yeah.
It's yes, it doesn't mean, I mean, for some of us ambitious people, that balance is going to be tough. Right. We mentioned family and work, right? Yeah. If you don't spend too much time in your business or at work, you should be willing to make less.
Yes.
But let me give you this angle though, because
Kobe.
I think that, you know, it's easy. It's also easy to say, whose definition of success are you living?
Right.
Because a lot of times, you know, we shape our goals, or should I say we project our goals and based on somebody else, and we call it ambition.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, a lot of times our goals is truly shaped by social media
Correct.
or family members.
Or keeping up with the
Or
Joneses.
keeping up with the Joneses.
You know, as
Or
they say.
Tolson. I'm trying to be like, and Kay, I'm trying to be like you, you know, like, so you do it, I gotta do it. No, I was kidding.
So, you know, and so for me, when I think about that, it almost comes across like, okay, you know what? Because I'm living somebody else's dream, once I've been able to accomplish these things, do I still feel fulfilled inside? You know what I'm saying? Because when you speak to some rich people that they've made it all and you ask them like, hey, if you had to do it again, you know, what is something that you wish
You would change.
you would change? And majority of the time, it's usually the relationship aspect or the time
It's a lot of
aspect.
family.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, man, I wish I got a chance to spend more time with my kids.
Yep.
Because now I done made it, but my kids don't like me anymore.
Yeah.
Or
Or
they
we
don't
just-
know me.
Yeah.
Or my wife.
Or you miss those early moments when they're younger. That's
Yeah.
what people always say. I
Yep.
missed
Yep.
when they were growing up. You
Yep.
never get that back.
Yeah. And then a lot of times when you think about success, you know, you have to ask yourself, like, look, if I've got to the stage where I feel like I'm successful, does it still mean a lot to me if
Right.
nobody clapped for me? If nobody said congratulations?
Yeah.
Like, what does that typically look like? Because a lot of times we want to do stuff because we want the accolade. We want to be
Of
able to
course.
say,
We want to be recognized.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's subjective because I'm kind of, I said this before, but I want to win in private.
You know what? My wife has a great example.
I want to
She's
win
like-
in private.
She says the same thing.
Let me
where
go
she's
hang out
like,
and do my own thing.
If I get money, I don't want anybody to know. I want to be like a rich, silent billionaire.
Yeah, like-
because you look at some of these successful people, you know, let's say like Messi, right? Soccer player, uber famous, went to Argentina just trying to have a meal at a restaurant with his family.
Can't even
They
do it.
almost pushed down the restaurant, you know,
Yep.
because of the people. So you can't even go out anymore. Maybe you're just stuck at home. You got to do Uber Eats. You got to do
I
like,
know.
you can't go anywhere.
But
That's
see, the thing
fame,
is-
right?
That's fame.
But see-
Well,
That's
yeah.
success.
You have that perspective and mindset.
For me.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You have
Yeah.
the perspective and mindset because of where you're coming from and you're living your own definition of what success is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Remember I told you
not
that
there yet,
some
but-
people are, you know, version of success is based off of what they see on
See.
social media.
Yeah.
They want to live somebody else's.
or they see you and you on this podcast and they say, man, if I make it on that podcast, I'm successful. Or, you know what I mean? They see something like, they may see me, they be like, oh, you're a dentist, you're success, versus me.
Hey,
I'm like, no, I'm not.
what do we always say? God, please give me the money that people think I have.
Amen.
No, but I was also saying that whenever I think a big thing is to, it's not bad to be ambitious, and this is my definition of success, right? Like me saying I wouldn't get to 100 bill because I would probably be doing something with it, right? Because for me, that's how I feel I define success. Am I able to have freedom to do what I want and help others and not have to do it, but choose to do it? If I walk away today, I'm good. That's when I feel like I'm successful. I also feel like at some point along the way, for my personal reasons, I decided each encounter with people, my job is to do the best I can for them. And I feel like from what I've studied, altruism in a lot of ways, especially in this age, is the quickest route to success. It sounds like counterintuitive, but a lot of people who I know, at least from this is obviously anecdotal, right? That I know that have been successful have been very much not caring about like the money. They have been doing the most because now you, in my opinion, they're getting more back, more referral for business, more everything, more. You're the guy to go to because you care about me, regardless of the money. Not saying they don't make money. It's just easier.
Well, one thing I do want to challenge though is that most people that because you said, hey, if I had 100 billion, I'd give 99 away or whatever, right? Most people that have that much money, they actually don't have it in cash.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like they can just.
not
You say most people like it's a lot of people. They do. They do. They keep leveraging it to make more.
They got a lot of cash. All right.
They can liquid it. They can make it liquid.
But it's not all liquid. And
it's not all.
And they may not even be allowed to liquidate it all.
No, I know.
Because it can.
But you get what I'm saying.
Other
Though.
issues.
I would probably liquidate a lot to
You
be able
may
to
not
do
be able to.
You're right.
Yeah,
At
because-
once. You can't do it at once for sure.
Even at like a large scale, like
But I want to play devil's advocate real quick, right? Because, in some way, shape, or form, I think three of us are living some sort of success in our lives right now, right? But there's going to be some folks out there that are living for survival, right? So let me put this question out there, right? Because it's quite easy to say, yes,
right.
time is important,
People,
relationship
money
is important,
Right. Yes.
But you got that person out there saying that I don't even know where my next meal is going to come from. So who are you to tell me what's considered success or what's not considered success? So for somebody out there who's, on a survival mode, how should they be thinking about truly what success should mean to them? Is there like a recipe? Is that how they should be thinking? Because remember, I told you, like, a lot of people's form of success isn't theirs. It's somebody else's definition, and they're just living somebody else's dream, and they hide that under ambition, So what should they, what should that mindset be?
That's interesting. Okay. So let me give you my thoughts on that.
All right.
So success cannot be, it's not it's an evolving definition. So success for me was for me to, get into undergrad program that I wanted to.
Wait, you say evolving?
It's evolving, right?
Isn't that the same as the rat race where
No. So my end goal may have been to, maybe I don't even know what my end goal is. Maybe I just success. I got to get into dental school. I got to get into undergrad, make good grades. That I've achieved that. I'm successful. Now my next milestone for me to be, keep going on the timeline or trajectory to get to, I might not even know what my end goal is, but as long as I'm hitting those short milestones, then I'm on my success path and I'm feeling better about where I want to be. For me, it always, one great thing my dad did when I was younger, going into high school, he gave me this one book that forced me. He was like, going into college, forced me. He's like, if you're going to college, you got to do this workbook. And I was like, that's summer. I'm about to go kick it. But I ended up doing it, and it made me like think like, okay, I need to set goals. And I need to have a clear vision and mission and what I wanted to do. And so what I'm saying for whoever's going, living paycheck to paycheck, your first goal is to save just enough money, even if it's $50 a month, save just enough money to where you have a 3 to 6 month cushion. That's your first successful milestone. Then after that, you have to now upgrade your skills, either invest that money in yourself so that you can earn more. The third goal would now be to get in a position where you're not living paycheck to paycheck. And you have to have that mindset of, I don't belong here. I belong here. Once you program your mind, and it sounds like a lot of fluff, but it really does work. Once you program your mind to belong to a different status or level, your body and mind will fight tooth and nail to not get there, to not fall below that. Just for the same reason why people who get to a certain level where they think I'm successful and they've always in their mind thought this is where I need to be. Then they get here and they're like, actually, I really want this. And that's actually what I need. And I have more responsibilities other people take care of. But because they're comfortable here, it doesn't matter what they want, how hard they try, because their mind has not accepted that this is where I belong. It doesn't happen because they don't take advantage of every opportunity they get. If you're going between like, hey, I want a nicer house versus I need to do this or go on the street, you're not going to sleep.
Yeah.
You're going to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
But you don't put that same energy to get to this level.
That's a good
But I'm
perspective.
saying like, not to diminish what anyone's doing. I'm not in their shoes, so I don't know. I do say the first milestone for success, and you have to congratulate yourself if you make it to where you're not paycheck to paycheck in a struggle mode. Because I've been there, and it's not fun. It's not fun at all.
So, Tosin, would you say that it's okay for somebody on a survival mode to identify income status as success?
Possibly, right? Because that income is probably what's going to help you get to that next level, right? Or whatever you're trying to accomplish. Whether it's to put food on the table, it's going to be money.
Yeah.
Whether it's to get a better living arrangement, it's going to be money.
Okay.
What I would probably recommend for those out there is, like Alan said, in that mindset shift, I also want you to add that most people, there's a statistic I read, about 70% of everyone working in this United States of America live paycheck to paycheck.
Yes.
Correct. You are not alone.
You're not.
They might look like they got it. All right. They might look like that definition of
Some
success.
of it is because of budgeting, but
No, but even
but
if
statistically, yes.
they're just one, major whatever away from, ending up looking like, oh, I thought that person was successful.
Right.
What happened? I thought they were driving a nice car. What happened? I thought they lived in that big mansion. What happened?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So first things first, everybody going through it. Okay.
Yeah.
No matter what
That's
they're
economy.
looking at. And I say everybody because it's 70%. It's more
Correct.
than half.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
And I like the way you guys put that, right? So obviously if you on that survivor mode, what Tosin and Alan shared is definitely how you want to be looking at it. But I also think that for folks who are not on survival mode, they're an obsession, it's just an obsession. I think one of the ways that they can look at it is from an intangible perspective, right? So if I lose all my money today, what can I look at to still give me the feeling of being wealthy, right? For me personally, I talked about the three things, right? Time, peace, and relationship, right? But ultimately, I look at everything that I do from the standpoint of, am I in the capacity to serve others, and am I making impact? impact is so important to me because it's what makes me feel good at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, you talk about the deathbed. What can you point to and say, you know, I feel really, really happy about this, right? Who are the people that you've impacted?
That's
people,
a good feeling.
People,
That's right.
you get what I'm saying?
Sometimes
like,
you chase that feeling to forever.
you have no idea.
I know what you mean.
You know, obviously when you guys came to my networking event, Elevate Network, it's something that I've been doing now for a little over a year. And there's no better feeling than somebody coming to me and say, it's because of your event. It's the reason why I was able to find my co-founder.
Yeah.
Because of your event, I was able to, I got connected, or I got customers, or I was able to get an investor that put money in my company.
I get that feeling. Sorry, guys, all the time.
There's nothing better than that.
No.
And so for me,
So working healthy.
when somebody says that to me,
Because it didn't cost you much.
it didn't cost me
didn't
anything.
cost you,
But guess what? That's how I define success.
Yeah.
You know, because at that point, it's not, because I'm not living on survival, you know, but at the same time, it's about, you know what can I do to impact people? And you'll be surprised that those things that didn't cost you money can indirectly even give you money. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody can say, oh, you know what? I got XYZ, you know, because of you and because of that. I want to invite you out to be a speaker for this gig, and it's going to pay XYZ.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You go, oh,
Because
okay.
you're doing good work.
You doing
just
good work.
to do good work.
You know?
Not to get something back. Mm-hmm. That's the key, I feel like.
It could even be as small as, hey, you know, I do childcare for people, right? You know, if you want to drop your children off in my house,
I can drop my kids off at your
as long as you don't mind me disciplining them. Yo, I always, you know,
I'm always trying to get
I'm a
date night with
sidetrack
Dwight.
here, but I tell people, yo, if you leave your children with me, that means you want me to discipline her. If you don't bring them my way, all right?
You don't do them creative punishments. Hold your hand above your head.
No.
Stand on one foot. That's what you
not the
get.
discipline.
That's what you get for kicking.
Yeah.
We're gonna say balance this ledger. This is your punishment.
That's right. You got to do some accounting over here.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, definitely. I really want those that are, I mean, just to speak to them one more time, like, hey, success is in the little things.
Yeah.
Right. I liked Alan. He mentioned that, you know, it's in those little goals even that you set for yourself. Whatever it may be, that's success for the day. It doesn't have to be this grand scheme of, you know, grand plan of this is my success. No, it could be a daily milestone that gets you to your success. Track it, measure it. Right. And therefore, those little wins is going to get you to what you're going to call success as a whole.
And
All right. Well,
I think one thing, you know, I learned before we close up is that, you know, Kobe, right? Nobody, you know, he even said everyone who knew me knew that I wasn't available because I was chasing my dream, and this made me happy. But he also had a time frame where he was like, you know, I missed all this time with my daughters today, but I'm going to see them tomorrow and do X, Y, and Z. And when he was done, because he's an obsessive person, he was like, I'm going to obsess on my daughters. So you have to, if you're trading hours for dollars or trading time with people for a goal, you have to, in your mind, understand what you're doing. And at some point, you have to pay up, right?
That's
or you're going to lose
that?
some of those relationships. So I think the issue is sometimes hard for people to balance the two. And sometimes they do end up, you know, going this way, and it just make sure it's not too late is what I'm trying to say with anything. But that is pretty much my 2 cents on that.
Yeah. You know, as you can see here, you know, we've talked about 3 things. We talked about time, we've talked about relationship, and we've talked about peace. For you, it might be different. But I think at the end of the day, you're not wealthy if your relationship is bankrupt. What is it for you to gain so much, but your kids don't even know you, or your wife don't love you, right? So if you are on that pace where you're on a survival mode, think about what Tosin and Alan has said, right? Set a plan and incrementally just grow that plan. Or if you're in a place where money is not an issue, think about your goals from a holistic perspective.
Right.
You know, I will always say that impact is a better currency than income. You know, so think about what impact you can make on people's lives, because at the end of the day, that's what true success is about. And if you guys can drop it in the comment section, I want to know, how do you currently define success? And we'll be reading. We want to check it out. And that's it for today. You can go online and check us out at gobeyondthegrind.com, where you can find all our episodes. Please share this with somebody that you feel like might be struggling with how to define success in their life. Until next time, my name is Kay. This is Alan. This is Tosin. Until next time, guys. Peace.